One day that means let's Hello everybody, my name is Chris. I'm your safari guide today. Up above your head, they're going to see an animal spotting guide. Now, I'm not guaranteeing we're going to see all those animals, but we usually have some pretty good look. If you were to take any pictures you like, I would suggest you can for some kind of action, sports mode, and that's like a high shutter speed because the animals are alive. They move, and you can't stop them from moving. And let's like to those cameras and any other loose objects because if you drop them off by the truck, we are not going to stop to get them. I'll send somebody out for them, but you're probably not going to get them back in one piece. Now, on the reserve, we got some rules. Rule number one, the roads are not paved. It's going to be bumpy, so stay seated at all times. Keep your right hand stopped. Rule number two, keep your hands off between legs inside the truck at all times. Some of the plant life has long, sharp thorns. They will poke you. It will hurt. It will not be natural. Rule number three, no loud noises, whistling, kissing noises, screaming, "Hey, giraffe, come over here!" Don't do that. The animals don't like it. It's just going to make them go farther. Now, of course, you can talk amongst yourselves. Please get excited when you see stuff. Oh my goodness, that's so cute! That's fine. I'll probably do it too. Now, just don't scream something that's going to come to you because they don't do that. Well, we're hitting some traffic, so welcome to Orlando. Probably some animals in the road. It's their home. They have it right away. They know.
And this is his. So if you go on YouTube, Big John. And it'll come up, and he's been doing it for, what, 9 years?
Yep.
9 years now. So. Hopefully it's free. You know, the more subscribers, the better, because it gets the word out.
Alright, we're going to be starting our safari in the Little Aturi Forest. Forest is the key word. There are a lot of trees. The animals are well camouflaged and quite shy. So keep your eyes in the trees and bush leaves. Over on the right side, I see some okapi. Now it looks like the okapi are wearing zebra pants, but they're not related to the zebra at all. They're actually the only relative of the giraffe. Same basic skull structure as a giraffe, the long, prehensile tongue. Ever had a chance to pet one? Do it. They're very soft. The coats feel almost like velvet. Over here on the left side, we're going to see two different kinds of antelope. We're going to see some reddish brown ones. They are bongos. Bongos are also known as the ghosts of the forest because they are rarely seen. On both sides of the trunk, the taller tannish brown antelope are greater kudu. They are the tallest antelope in the forest at about 55 inches tall at the shoulder. That doesn't count their necks or their heads. There's also two big black and white birds on the right. Those are saddle-billed stork. They get to be about 5 feet tall. They have a wingspan of 9 feet. They mate for life. One way to tell a male from a female is by the color of their eyes. It's brown eyes for the males, yellow eyes for the female. Over here on the left side, I see a black rhino. The black rhino is the smallest rhino on the reserve. They only get to be about 3,000 pounds. The black rhino does live a mostly solitary life. They have a prehensile top lip that can reach around and grab stuff with it like a finger. Rhinos have no natural predators. The only thing in the entire world that they have to worry about is people. At one point, there were only around 5,000 black rhinos in the entire world. They were pushed to near extinction for their horns, which are only made of keratin. That's the same thing as our hair and nails. Alrighty, well, we're going to be leaving the forest. We're going to head over to the Sapi River. Most of the animals up here are going to be hanging out in and around the water, so that's where you want to keep your pink-backed pelicans. They don't really look pink right now, but during mating season, their backs and their feet do change colors. Group of pelicans, that was a pod. Also kind of hard to see, but tucked in the right corner down there in the water, there is a couple of Nile hippos. Nile hippos will spend most of their day in the water. It does protect their sensitive skin from the sun. They even sleep under the water if they want to. They can hold their breath for about 8 minutes. Then you take a breath, they float to the top, they take their breath, they sink to the bottom. It's the same as rolling over in your sick tree with me. They don't need to like wake up or anything. There's a few more hippos on the left there. A herd of hippos is known as a float. Now in the water, they don't really swim all that much. They're just going to walk and hop along the bottom of the riverbed. That's where the name hippopotamus comes from. It translates to water horse. Now they are not actually related to horses, though. They are most closely related to whales. Hippos do look incredibly cute and cuddly. They are actually one of the most territorial animals in the entire world. So usually if you see hippos, you don't see too many other animals hanging around. They are able to open their mouths 180 degrees. They're supposed to are 18-inch long in size. Those big old teeth, all they eat are plants.
Crocodiles get moved because of the cold?
No, they were out there.
Oh.
They weren't out there. I didn't see them just now,
Yeah.
but they come and go as they please.
Oh, okay.
This big funny looking tree up ahead here, that's a baobab tree. Oftentimes referred to as the upside down tree. It looks like roots growing out on top of them. Just look like that. They only got leaves for about 3 months out of the year. Heading into the savannah, we come around this turn here, you're going to get a wonderful view of it. In the savannah, you may find many of your favorite animals like giraffes, elephants, and lions. I see some animals, so let's go. Give this a close look. Over there on the right, there's our wildebeest. Wildebeest are also known as gnus. That's spelled G-N-U because of the low grunting noise that they make. Wildebeest do travel in some of the world's largest herds, numbers that reach up to 1.5 million. And when they stampede, they blind run, so they will basically just close their eyes and go for it. Left in between the den and the fence line over there, laying on a little pile of hay, and you see a couple of African painted dogs. One of the most successful hunters on the savannah. There's quite a few things coming up on the left here. Right next to us, we're going to see some animals with some pretty large horns. Those are animals and cattle. Those horns get to be about 6 feet long. They look really heavy, but they're actually pretty light. Honeycomb shaped on the inside. Let's look through them. Keep them cool. Also, way in the back there, there's some dark brown antelope. Those are sable antelope. They are pretty unique. They stand their ground against predators and they don't back down. Those horns angle to the back like that, they help to get lions off their backs. There's also the Hartman's Mountain zebra. Now those particular zebras are black with white stripes. We can tell because the color of their coats. Zebras merge their herds in with other slower animals herds, so when a predator comes around, they just outrun them. fantastic. There's a little baby giraffe straight ahead there. He just turned 1 this month. Giraffe are the tallest land animals, 6 feet tall when they're born, 18 to 20 feet tall when fully grown. And a herd of giraffe is known as a tower. That'll be so cute. Giraffe will spend about 16 to 20 hours every day eating. And when they do, they use their long, prehensile tongues. They wrap them around the tree branches and strips of leaves off. Their tongues are long enough that they could lick their own eyeballs if they wanted to. They spend all that time eating. They will spend about 30 minutes a day sleeping. Not even all together. Even they split their day into 2 to 3 increments. They also sleep standing up. In the wild, they basically never lay down. It takes them too long to stand back up if a predator comes around. They will even give birth standing up, which makes for a pretty interesting search of their life. It begins with a 6-foot drop. The bumps on top of the giraffe's heads are known as ossicles. They are soft when they're born. They harden up over time. A fully grown giraffe's heart is the size of a basketball. It weighs around 25 pounds. They're born with high blood pressure. It takes a lot of pressure to get the blood up that long neck. Straight ahead there, you see some little small antelope. Those are springbok. Springbok only get to be 3 feet tall. They can jump 6 feet high, 13 feet in length, and run at speeds up to 55 miles per hour. Making them one of the fastest land animals. Alright, well, looks like we might be heading on into elephant territory. I can tell it's elephant territory as it's trees have been pushed over. The elephants are a little bit rambunctious when they play, and oftentimes just push trees over for fun, or to get to the leaves at the top of the tree. Another pretty good sign you're in elephant territory. There's an elephant. He is an African elephant. We can tell he is an African elephant because he has some really big ears. You're going to see him waving his ears. He's not just saying hello. It's one way that they keep themselves cool. A lot of blood vessels and arteries back behind there. They wave them, it moves the air around, it cools them out pretty quickly. Really quickly on the left, there's a mantle over by the wall there. Largest species of monkey in Africa. They're distinguishable by their red blue faces. See the elephant though? The elephants will eat about 300 pounds of food every day. They'll drink about 40 gallons of water every day. They can hold about 5 gallons of water inside their trunks. They put a sign up there today. Yesterday, I want to see if I can make the jump right here. I didn't make it. So we're going to go around 6. I broke that truck. The tow truck got stuck over there. They're kind of bad. There's also a large elephant right there, so probably not a good idea. That's the backside of an elephant. Let's go this way. Now the elephants do have thousands of muscles inside of their trunks. They are so precise they can pick a dime up off the ground. More muscles in those trunks than we have in our entire body. Alrighty, well, it does look like we would have made it out and got some rope on the bridge, so it should hold. Alright, so we're going to be heading to some red clay pits. You might see some elephant footprints, maybe some tusk marks. The elephants actually go in there, they scrape the clay off the walls and it supplements their diet with vitamins and minerals that they need. Basically, it's their daily multivitamin. A few more elephants up on the left here. Sadly, elephants have been poached to near extinction. Both of their ivory tusks as well as human encroachment on their habitats. The elephants would trample farmers' crops, costing them months of incomes. Scientists did some research. They found that elephants are very scared of bees. So So farmers are putting bees nests up on their fence lines, kept the elephants away, and gave the farmers a second income selling honey and the honeycomb. I'm pretty sure I just saw a little baby alien over here. She turned 2 in December. Elephants can get to be over 13,000 pounds. They are about 300 pounds when they're born. Their mothers are pregnant for 22 months. Look at her, she's so cute. They live in matriarchal herds. The males get to the age of around 13. They'll leave, they'll go out on their own. That's why that person was all by itself back then. Females will stay with their entire life.
Yep, that's the movie.
Take a close look at the flamingos. You notice they have that little backwards knee thing out there. That's actually not their knee, it's their ankle. Their knees are farther up under the feathers where you can't see them. A flock of flamingos is known as a flamingos. Mud wallows up ahead, it's usually a good place to find animals. They like to roll around in the mud, keep some food, keep the insects away. Actually, got an apple sun. Right now, so we're going to keep moving ahead and see if we can find up here. A couple of white rhinos taking a nap on the right there. The white rhino are the largest rhinos on the reserve. They're about 5,000 pounds. When you're looking at the white rhino, you probably notice they're not white. They got their name from the Afrikaans word white. It means wide because they have wide mouths. Rhinos have really poor vision. They only see about 10 feet in front of them. Everything else is just a big blur. Herd rhinos notice a crash. A little bit to do with that poor eyesight. They run around, don't see where they're going. They just crash into stuff. There's a cheetah right there. Fastest land animal capable of reaching speeds up to 70 miles an hour. They're one of the few cats whose calls are always out and helps them to keep traction when they run. One of the few cats that are going to do most of their hunting during the day. They're spotted to the skin, so if we shaved up all their fur, they would still have all their spots. There's 2 or 3 more right there. Technically, cheetahs are not big cats. Technically, they're just really large, small cats. That's because to be considered a big cat, you have to be able to roar, and cheetahs cannot roar. But they do purr, chirp, and meow. Some lions up there. The Swahili word for lion. They spend about 16 to 20 hours every day just lying around, sleeping and relaxing. They do their hunting at night. The females do the hunting. The males stay back in front of the pride. She loves that plant. That's so sweet. I carried it around the other day. They catch most of their prey by stalk and catch. Can reach speeds running up to 35 miles an hour if they need to. Don't worry, that this truck does 8. Ostrich on the right there. Largest bird in the world. They weigh about 300 pounds. Female ostrich be about 7 to 8 feet tall. Males are around 8 or 9 feet tall. Those are both females, because they have the gray feathers. 2 more lions there. Despite what the famous song told us about lions, they are actually nocturnal, which means they are more active at night.
Yeah, she's got her point again. She's got her point.
She loves that video. mark their territories. Those roars can be heard up to 5 miles away. She had like a bunch of people rock.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Is it just like a bunch of...
I don't know what kind of plant it is. But yeah, she was carrying around the whole thing. Like, you can see the root ball and everything.
Surprise.
Yeah. Some warthogs on the left there. They run their tail 6 straight in the air just like Pumbaa.
Oh, yeah.
Pumbaa is Swahili, but it's not Swahili for warthog. It actually means silly or foolish. It doesn't apply to warthogs, so they're actually really intelligent. They're smarter than most domesticated dogs. Rhinos up ahead there, you can see. Again, on the left, there's some ostrich eggs over on the right there. Ostrich eggs are the largest eggs in the world. They weigh about 3 pounds each. And it takes 24 chicken eggs to make 1 ostrich egg. And they are strong enough to eat meat or an ostrich, so on top, they would not break. Alright, when I see a ward station up ahead here, the ward that they were trying to keep the animals protected and safe. Now, if you remember me talking about the beehive fences that farmers made to keep the elephants away up on the left, you're going to see what one looks like, which is the yellow thing came there from the building there. You're also going to get a glimpse of the majestic Nigerian dwarf goat. Typically, they're raised for their milk. Pretty large livestock for their small size and far less land and food raising. That's pretty cute, too. They're fully grown. That's the biggest they're going to get right there. Now, if you would like to go pet those goats, you can. Very simple. Just hop on the Wildlife Express train, head over to Rafiki's Planet Watch. You can pet them over there. They have a couple of species of goats. They got some sheep, a couple of donkeys, a couple of pigs. There's even a cow. You can pet any of that stuff. Alright, now I know we talked about extinction today, and as we all know, extinction is forever. So we all have to do our parts to make sure that these animals are going to be around for generations to come. There are many ways to do this. Some of the simplest is make sure to recycle all your batteries, your electronics. You can also build bird feeders or bat boxes in your backyard or donate to a conservation fund. Disney's Conservation Fund matches dollar for dollar everything that you donate. But if you have a conservation fund that's closer to your heart, just donate to that one. They all help. They all do good. If you want to find some more animals, you head over to these little falls. Animals not on the safari like the meerkats and meerkats. If you head over to Asia, check out the Maharaja Jungle Trek. You can find animals like tigers, cranes, Komodo dragons, and flying foxes. Any wilderness explorers on the truck, you have been on the Simba one. Alright, now we'll be a great time for you to go ahead and double check your pockets. Make sure you didn't drop anything. Cell phones, wallets, card keys. Make sure you got all that stuff with you. It's a long trip back to Africa to make it all the way to your car and realize that you have left your keys in a safari truck. Now in Harambe, we don't like to say goodbye. Far too sad, far too fine. Except we'll say, come on, radio music, go well. Quality, my friends, go well, go wild. Go out there and make a difference. Those animals are using all the help they can get.
We're on you.